Welcome to the High Impact Healer Podcast, where we empower healers, facilitators, coaches, and leaders to create more impact, make more money, and live a more purposeful life. Let's get into it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the High Impact Healer. In today's episode, we are going to be diving into hosting retreats, why retreats are such an epic offering, such a no-brainer offering for healers, facilitators, and coaches, and how to earn six figures from your retreats this year. A simple and doable strategy that I formulated several years ago that I've been using for years, and I've been teaching my students now for years as well. So get comfortable and let's get ready to rock and roll and dive into how you can start hosting retreats this year and earn six figures. Before we get started, a quick little sponsor drop. And of course, it's the Awaken Breath High Impact Healer Training. The Awaken Breath High Impact Healer Training is my baby. This training is so important to me, and now I am just seeing more and more every single day how important it is to humanity and how important it is to the conscious community at large. What we do in the Awaken Breath High Impact Healer Training, what we believe in, our ethos, our mission, is to support people who are either already healers and facilitators and coaches or who are feeling the call to become healers, facilitators, and coaches. We support them every single step of the way from A to Z in becoming an absolute rock star healer with the power of breathwork, learning many different breathwork modalities and practices, and how to be a trauma-informed breathwork facilitator so that you can just help the world and help people heal themselves with the power of breathwork. That, as well as how to build out powerful high-ticket offers such as retreats and coaching programs. And of course, we're going to dive into retreats today. And then finally, the conscious business systems that are absolutely necessary, such as conscious sales, conscious marketing, conscious branding, advertising, you name it, messaging, social media, website, funnels, everything, soup to nuts. We teach everything in this one training, and I built this training because it is the training that I needed many years ago whenever I was starting my journey. This is the perfect training for me at that time, and that is exactly why I decided to build this training. And now we have over 500 students out there in the world sharing the beautiful gift of breathwork and building their wellness business, and their work is being shown all over the world. YouTube, Insight Timer, Spotify, in-person retreats, in-person workshops, one-on-one sessions, events, festivals, you name it. We're creating a big ripple here at Awaken Breath, and I would love nothing more than those of you who are feeling the call to become a breathwork facilitator and build your wellness business and take everything to the next level to join us in our next cohort. And so go to awakenedbreath.org/HIH. That's awakenedbreath.org/HIH to learn how you can join our next cohort and become a high impact healer this year and scale your wellness business, take everything to the next level, live the life that you are here to live out your mission, live out your dharma, create global impact, and make great money doing it. This is what we're all about. So one more time, awakenedbreath.org/HIH. All right, guys, thank you so much. And without further ado, let's dive into today's episode, talking about how to be a successful retreat host and why you as a coach, facilitator, and healer need to be hosting retreats, and then also how we can take our retreats to the six-figure level this year, just starting out. Okay, let's rock and roll. Let's dive in. First and foremost, why is it important to host retreats? Retreats are amazing. Retreats are my favorite offering for many reasons. Number one reason is because we get to gather everybody together in person and have these epic, beautiful experiences, whether it's breathwork ceremonies, plant medicine ceremonies, hiking in Sedona, right? Having fun. One thing that we do at my men's retreats is we play what's called polar ball, where we play volleyball in a cold pool and then all hop in the hot tub, and it's totally a vibe. It's just a blast to be able to bring everybody together and have that beautiful in-person energy. And so not only are retreats lucrative, but retreats are also a blast, right? Retreats are really, really, really fun. And That's why I host retreats many, many times per year, at least 5 per year, because I freaking love them. and they're awesome. Another big point here is retreats are lucrative. Now, most facilitators, healers, and coaches lose money on retreats or they break even. And this is just pointless. There's no reason why this should be happening. I teach a model in which you can profit $20,000 or more per retreat. And I personally profit about $50,000 per retreat. And this is with some additional coaching and some other add-ons. Now, I've been doing this for over 5 years now, and I've hosted right around 40 to 50 retreats. I've honestly lost count. So I've been refining this for a while. But we have students who are able to profit $20,000 or more from their retreats on their first retreats. So this is a totally doable model. Retreats can be absolutely lucrative. They create a ton of impact and they're a ton of fun. And that's our third piece here, is that retreats create a lot of impact, right? So retreats are a lot of fun, they're lucrative, and they create amazing impact. The impact that I see from retreats is more than you can recreate from a workshop, more than you can create from a one-on-one session. And it's just epic to watch the transformation that somebody goes through at a retreat over 3 to 5 days. The amount of healing and expansion that can take place is absolutely remarkable, okay? So let's recap. The first reason why retreats are an absolute no-brainer for coaches, healers, and facilitators is because they're a blast, and you as an entrepreneur and as a leader, you want to have fun doing your job. And so retreats are the best way to do this, in my opinion. Number 2 is because they're epically lucrative whenever you do them the right way. And number 3 is because of the impact that's created, right? We're all about creating impact, and that impact creating income here at Awaken Breath. This is a big philosophy of mine. And so we want to create epic impact at all of our offerings. In retreats, create an epic amount of impact, more impact than any other offering, in my opinion, and from what I've seen over the past several years. So let's go ahead and dive straight into how you can start earning 6 figures from hosting retreats as a healer, facilitator, and coach. And so I'm going to tell you a model that I built many years ago and that I was able to accomplish without running any ads, without doing anything crazy, without having a crazy lead acquisition strategy. All I was doing was creating content, putting it out there on Insight Timer, some content on YouTube, and content on Instagram. And from there, I was able to fill my retreats organically, right? And I think that the universe has a big play in this. Whenever you're ready to host retreats and whenever you feel confident that you can create an epic retreat experience, that is when God and the universe will start to send people to your retreats. But you have to do your due diligence and put the messaging out there. You have to put out content. You have to build out the retreat. You have to put it on your website, for example, or your landing page. You have to share it on your social media. People have to know that you're hosting retreats in order to come. And so that's all I was doing. I was creating content that was aligned with my message and my mission on social media, on Insight Timer, on YouTube. I was doing some podcasts. So I found some podcast hosts. I hopped on their podcast, talked about my retreats. And from this, I was able to fill my retreats and create a 6-figure income from retreats. And I am going to dive into that exact model right now. So here is your 6-figure retreat model. Okay, so this is a simple and doable strategy that I used to generate my first six figures as a facilitator in general, right? So my first 6 figures came from hosting retreats, and this is how I did it. I hosted 4 4-day retreats per year. That's 1 per quarter. So that gives you 3 months per retreat to fill those retreats. Now, the price tag on these retreats was $2,500 per person on average. And I would have an average of 12 participants per retreat, okay? Now, with this model, you have expenses at every retreat. Of course, there's overhead. So the overhead per retreat was right around $9,000. And this is how this breaks down. Spend about $2,500 on food and chef, so the groceries and the chef budget. Spend $1,000 per additional facilitator that would come on my retreat and share their gifts, such as yoga or sound healing. And I usually had 1, if not 2, extra facilitators sharing their gifts at the retreat. So this brings us right around to $4,500. And then I would rent the space, and the space would be about $1,000 a night. So total, this would equal about $3,500 for the space, which is a good price. And so now we're sitting right around $8,000. And then the extra $1,000 was for miscellaneous items, travel, maybe renting a car, etc. Now, if you can drive to your retreat location, you're going to save a lot of money. The less plane tickets, the less car rentals, the better, right? The less expenses, the better. So hosting an international retreat for your first retreat, if you're trying to make a profit, is not a good idea. So for example, I live in Louisiana. I host my retreats in Austin, Texas. Me and half of my team can drive out to Austin, and then I meet a couple of other of my team members in Austin where they live. One lives in Austin, one lives in Dallas, and then I fly one of my team members in. So this is a really good model for sustainability and profitability. Okay, so that brings us to about $9,000 expenses. So if I'm hosting 4 4-day retreats per year at $25 per person, at 12 participants per retreat, let's go ahead and do the math. If we have 12 participants times 2,500, that's $30,000 in revenue per retreat. Now, if I minus $9,000, that's $21,000 in profit per retreat. $21,000 times 4 retreats is $84,000. Now, you may be thinking, Ben, that's not 6 figures. You are correct, that's not 6 figures. But here is how you can make it 6 figures. Next, you want to enroll at least 10 people from the 48 people, the 12 times 4, the 48 people that you work with that year at your retreats. You want to enroll 10 of those people, that's less than 40%, into a 6 to 8 week private coaching program. And I did a 6-week private coaching program at $2,500 per head. At $2,500 per head times 10, that equals $25,000. And there was no overhead with this. I would meet with them once per week on Zoom, do our coaching, and move on. Now, obviously, my business has evolved quite a bit since then, but this is the model that I worked with to earn my 6 figures as a facilitator, healer, and coach. And so when we have that $25,000 from the 10 clients that we enrolled into our private coaching program at $2,500 per head, and we combine that with our $83,200 from the retreats, then we have $108,200 for the year hosting retreats and enrolling a few people into a private coaching program from the retreats. So that is a 6-figure model. And I want to be clear here because there's something really important to understand. When we're hosting retreats or when we're doing workshops or when we're working with people one-on-one, once people experience our magic, right, our medicine, and they build trust with us, then you are much more likely to be able to upsell them something like a coaching program. Now, not everybody's going to bite on this, and not everybody is going to be right to do that coaching program with you. The people who go to the retreat or do the workshop or do the one-on-one session that really, really resonate with your work and know that you can help them in a more powerful way, they are going to be the people that invest in working with you more. So those are the people that are going to invest in your coaching program from your retreats, from your workshops, etc. So don't expect for everybody to say, yes, I want to work with you, right? Once you host your first retreat, and then at the end of the retreat, you have a call to action letting everyone know, hey, I have this epic coaching program. I only have a few spots available, and I would love for any of you who are feeling called to go deeper into this work to work with me on a deeper level, right? About 30 to 40% of people at that retreat will likely say, yes, I would like to learn more about this. Now from here, you're going to get on a call with them and you're going to talk to them, make sure that they're qualified to do this coaching program with you. And if you guys are wondering how to do this, I have a How to Consciously Sell Anything podcast. You can find it right here on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you're listening to this episode. And from here, once you qualify them and make sure that they're a good fit for the coaching program, you can sell them your coaching program. And this is a really doable strategy. And most people only need 6 figures per year. Not everybody is super ambitious and trying to make $1 million or more per year. But I will remind you, the reason why I am ambitious and do want to make $1 million or more per year is because that money can then go into reinvesting in my mission, in my business, in my legacy, and building a bigger, more impactful wellness business that touches more people. I can invest in the charities of my choice. I can support my family and communities in a more powerful way. The more money that I have, the more money that my people are able to benefit from, right? The more beauty in my family's life, et cetera, et cetera. Not to mention the more impact that I'm going to create globally, right? Because if you don't have money, if you don't have income, you cannot invest in your impact, right? And so we have to remember this, that income is a really beautiful thing whenever it's in the right hands. And we have to have income to invest in our impact. But if you go and take this strategy right now, today, then you can make 6 figures per year. I promise you. All you have to do is create content, put yourself out there, put the retreat out there, send newsletter, right? Send emails, make sure people know what you're doing. A few easy strategies here, or a few easy ways to do this are focus on social media, YouTube, getting on other people's podcasts, and your newsletter or your email campaigns. Making sure that you're sharing lots of value that is aligned with what you're going to be sharing at the retreat, right? So if you're a breath worker, sharing different breathwork techniques and different breathwork experiences and different things that people can expect at the upcoming retreat that you're going to be having. Now, if people are interested in your work and they see, wow, okay, this breathwork practice that they shared with me is really, really cool. I'm really interested in learning more about this retreat. But then people's attention span becomes shorter and shorter every single day. And so you have to constantly remind them that, hey, I am the guy or I am the woman who is sharing breathwork at this upcoming retreat. It's going to be absolutely epic and you need to be there. You have to consistently remind people of what you're doing and why it's going to be impactful for them. And if you do this, if you align your messaging, if you focus on creating content that is valuable for the right people, the people who you want at your retreat, then you will be able to fill your retreats. Once you fill your retreats, then you will be able to navigate those people, not all of them, but most of them, or some of them, I should say, because it's not going to be most of them likely. It'll be about 30 to 40% of them. You'll be able to navigate those people from your retreat into your coaching program where you can then help them more, create more impact for them, bring more value to their lives, and make more money so that you can reinvest in your impact-driven business. So guys, that is today's episode. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope that you gained a lot of value from this episode. If you did, please share it with a very special friend or someone who you know will really appreciate this episode, right? I pour my heart and soul and love into these episodes and to everything I do. So if you really enjoyed it, then leave a comment, share, subscribe, like, leave a review, do all the things that allow for me to know that this content is resonating with you. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Many, many blessings. I hope that this podcast episode supports you in creating a beautiful, abundant, and epic retreat business. And you are just going to get out there and create tons of impact for everybody that you work with. Until next time, be blessed. Have a beautiful day, and namaste.